on the slow starts, actually, it's an interesting one because it wasn't just limited to the Wolves game. That's kind of been a little bit of a theme, but it was a theme under Klopp, but in a kind of very different way. And that, I think, this is an interesting one in terms of the difference between the two managers. That slow start at Wolves, it did feel like Liverpool were a little bit under the cosh in those 20 minutes. We have seen it in games before this season, and yeah, you look back on those 20 minutes. What did Wolves create? So little, again, I don't want to always lean on expected goals, but I think it was something like 0.09 expected goals in those first 20 minutes that they generated, which I think, again, tallies with what we saw is that, yes, they kind of got the ball in dangerous moments. There was transition moments happening quite frequently, but they did absolutely nothing with it because Liverpool don't let them. And I think that is a big structure thing. So when they were having slow starts under Klopp, they were almost instantly conceding. That was a regular theme for a while, really, literally for almost 12 months, really, in the latter part of Klopp. But here, because the structure's so good, the way he sets his team up, it's those two holding midfielders in front of a back four. It just gives Liverpool a structure whereby if they do lose the ball and it ends up in a transition moment, they are there to clog the box, to make it difficult to get a good quality shooting opportunity away. So even when we saw that against Wolves, you weren't too panicked on the basis that Liverpool, that structure's there. Now, I've no doubt that Slot will want those slow starts to stop. He'll want Liverpool to be a bit more front-footed from the start of games. But that structure is there as a kind of a safety net, really. And we are really seeing that. So, I thought it was one of the interesting points in the Wolves game. And as you say, and then I think once you give yourself that structure and you're not finding yourself 1-0 down from 20 minutes in, then Liverpool started to grow into the game, started to really play the football and started to exert the pressure. And then the only sort of negative part after that really was the fact that the kind of final 15 minutes, they were a bit wayward again. But I just think, again, you've just got to give that kind of mitigation that it's still early days. They're still working certain things out. But if you can make yourself hard to score against, even when you're in the moments in a game when you're being sloppy, that bodes really, really well, I think, going forward.